morning, everybody. Welcome on in and happy Easter. Today is Easter Sunday. He is risen. It is March 31st, 2024. Today we got ourselves a little bit of a variety mix for you. It's going to be, we're going to do mostly boxing, but we're also going to throw in some other smaller, a little bit lighter weight, a little bit more high intensity cardio, a little bit faster paced exercises. This probably won't be the longest stream I've ever done, but it should be a good send off since, this is probably gonna be it. This is probably the last stream on this channel y'all are gonna see from me for a while. Right now, I've got plans to do a collab stream with Plus Ultra Eddie on the 3rd, but the future is up in air right now, so we're trying to figure all that out. More details are going to come on the Discord right now. My original plan has gone up in smoke a little bit, but I've got to figure out sort of what my backup is at the moment. I could talk a little bit more about that as we go forward, but it's time to start off with a little bit of jumping rope. So we're going to jump rope. I think the way I'm going to do this is we're going to jump rope, we're going to do some push-ups, we're going to do move the bench out of the way. We're going to jump rope, we're going to do some push-ups, we're going to do 5 rounds of boxing at 2 minutes apiece. We're going to do some kettlebell swings, and that's largely going to be it. It's not going to be a super intense, crazy workout today. It's not supposed to be, it's supposed to be a rest day. So we'll move a little bit fast. Hey, Salaya, it's how much it costs to live not in California. She was shocked, opening our eyes. Salaya, I was hoping to see you on the Discord. I really strongly recommend you show up there today because this is going to be the last stream for a while. But good to have you back. Welcome on in. So we'll start with a few, just jump rope, warm up a bit. With me. I hate jumping rope, but it's good for me. Need to be better at it, so. Just jumped in the Discord. Killer. Good to see you. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. We'll roll on. I think the way I'm going to do this is I'll do a set of push-ups, a set of kettlebell swings, and we'll do that sort of back and forth, then we'll hit boxing. It's 25. We'll go. Kettlebell swings. That's a good start. There we go. Hey, Bowser, appreciate that. Thank you very much for the 3-stream watch streak. Appreciate that a lot. Welcome on in, everybody. So, I can give you all a little bit of an update. I think I touched on it briefly yesterday, but right now, the plan, as described, is still rolling through to the 13th. I may have to shift things beyond that point. The reason being that one of my friends in Texas wants to buy my Volt, and that's great, you know? Works out good for him, works out good for me. Then the question is now, how do I get from Texas out to the West Coast? Well, I could fly, but if I did that, I'd have to leave a fair amount of stuff at my brother's place, which I could do, but it's not optimal. I could drive, but I'd either have to rent a car, which is very expensive, or buy a car, which means I'd have to sell it up there. So that's a possibility. Really, those are the two most obvious answers. I looked at Amtrak, which would be ideal considering I could take a lot more luggage with me. But unfortunately, Amtrak is, to use a technical term, hot garbage outside of the Northeast. I got quoted over $1,000 for a roomette and a trip that would take me over 80 hours to complete. So more than 3 days on a train. That's not competitive at all. So because of that, I'm leaning towards buying, an old van, something like an Express or a Chrysler Town and Country, or even just like a Toyota Sienna, reckoning that I can probably get most, if not even more money back for it by selling it in Washington than buying it from Texas, since, in general, the car prices are a little bit higher in the Northwest, especially for vans. So that's what I'm thinking right now. The perhaps the highest tier thinking move might be to get a Subaru, because people in the Northwest fucking love their Subarus. I don't know. Been thinking this one over. If y'all have thoughts, let me know. So you go ahead and do another couple sets of that. So we'll do a set of push-ups and then another set of kettlebells. We'll just cycle through, do that probably 5 or 6 sets, and then we'll roll to the boxing. All right? That's 25. I've also been really starting to dial in a little bit more on housing in and around the Oahu area. I've seen some really good options in Kaneohe or Kailua. That's a long commute. I think if I wanted to live that far away, it'd probably be a year 2 thing, not a year 1 thing. All right, that's 2 sets done. Write that down. There we go. Yeah, I'm not a huge Subaru fan, but it's mostly because they're inefficient. So Subarus come with a pretty solid 4-wheel drive system, and that's great. Nothing wrong with that, but if you don't need that four-wheel drive system, you're paying a penalty and reduced fuel mileage for having it with you. Four-wheel drive, to keep it in layman's terms, a four-wheel drive system increases parasitic loss from the engine to the wheels because you're separating power to four wheels instead of to two. There's obviously additional components that add weight to the car. Increased weight makes a car less efficient, all sorts of stuff like that. All right, that's the reason the Northwest likes them. Well, so I mean the Northwest tends to like them, I think, because sometimes you do get inclement weather up there, but I'll be honest, that's a much more justifiable reason for why New England, specifically Vermont, likes them. The Northwest likes them well, okay, so in the 90s, Subaru did a lot of good marketing. Subaru it barely ever snows in the Pacific Northwest. It's mostly rain in the wintertime. Now, if you get east of the Cascades, sure, but like if you live in Seattle, snow is pretty rare. You might get it once or twice a year, which is about as often as you might get it in Raleigh, North Carolina. And people don't go nuts over Subarus in Raleigh, North Carolina, at least not to the extent of my knowledge. The reason I think Seattle and the Northwest really loves them is because in the 90s, Subaru did a lot of marketing, studying who was buying their cars. What they found was it was very popular with quote-unquote single women. However, they realized, oh, wait a minute, these are single women who are officially not married but basically are. There's a reason there's a stereotype of lesbians driving Subarus, right? That's actually like, they have found marketing research that shows, yeah, in general, that's more than just a stereotype, in the same way that boomers drive Corvettes. But what Subaru did was they started leaning into that in their advertising. Love, it's what makes a Subaru, and all that jazz. All that sort of stuff. So that sort of cemented the, not just the stereotype, but sort of a marketing direction. It's kind of stuck ever since. Subarus have gotten way more popular than they were since the 90s, but in general, the Pacific Northwest tends to be more LGBT tolerant than the rest of the country, which also kind of plays a factor as to why you see a lot of them in places like Seattle and Portland. Those are seen as more progressive places to live and therefore more welcoming to LGBT. So, that's my theory on it. Maybe that's what I should do though. I should get me a Subi and drive it up to Washington. I could fit everything in a Subaru. Honestly, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I could get like a Forester or something. As long as the problem with the Subarus is the older ones have head gasket issues. So as long as the head gasket's good, it's a fairly reliable car. I'd put Subaru and Mazda sort of in the same tier, one below Toyota. All right, that's 3 sets. Nissan above all of them? No, Nissans are shit boxes. Nissans used to be very reliable cars, but Nissan coasted on that reputation while cutting costs. Now I would call Nissan Japanese Chrysler. I wouldn't touch them. See, now I haven't spent a lot of time in Eastern Oregon or Eastern Washington, so I don't know how popular Subies are on those sides of the mountains. So I could be wrong about that, but I do know Subaru 100% tuned a lot of their advertising in the 90s and the 2000s and the 2010s towards, in particular, lesbian couples. That's a thing they did. And it was pretty good marketing because, yeah, there's pretty strong brand loyalty with them too. Like, Subaru people tend to stay Subaru people. Does it keep all the Nissan stuff? There's literally not a single product Nissan makes right now that I would want to buy. Not a single one. Like, the closest one I'd say is the Versa Note, the little small compact one. But to be honest, I'd sooner buy a Mitsubishi Mirage, because at least the Mirage is honest about being a shitbox. It's not trying to convince you that it isn't. The Mirage is the only car left in the United States that you can truly call an economy car. You look at a Mitsubishi Mirage and you know it's a penalty box in the same way that, you know, a Toyota Echo or a Chevy Cavalier might have been 20 years ago. All right, let's do another set. Hey, I think we got a resub there. Can't quite tell from here. Let me finish the set. 10, 11. That'll do. Bougie Bones, thank you very much for the resub, and yes, happy Easter. The other shit, you know how I know. Well, okay, to be honest, Mikey, the fact that you got over 180,000 miles out of a Nissan CVT is nothing short of remarkable. That engine, that transmission honestly should have grenaded itself well before it did. Looking good. How am I doing today? Not too bad. It's Easter. We're having ourselves a little rest day. It may not look like it, but we're just doing, you know, lighter weight work. Doing some push-ups, doing some kettlebell swings. We'll do 2 more sets of each, and then we're gonna hit the boxing, the punching bag, and then, well, that's really gonna be about it. I'm not going super intense today. Today's supposed to be a rest day, so we're taking advantage. BTW, the old school RuneScape team put together a great little Easter event, so if y'all play old school RuneScape just like I do, go check it out. It's a lot of fun. Hey, King Faye, thank you very much for the follow. Y'all, we are, I believe, 9 away from 2,000 now, so we're so close. Okay, what muscle does the kettlebell swing work? The kettlebell swing, y'all, I'll do them to the side this time, but the kettlebell swing starts right about here. You snap it behind you like you were snapping a football as a center, and then you use your hip hinge muscles to swing, right? So it's really about that. You're using your glutes, your hams, and your quads to swing. You're using very little of your upper body. The kettlebell swing, a kettlebell swing is working the same muscles that a power clean or a deadlift would. Really working that hip hinge, right? Or a rack pull. You know, if you're doing a rack pull, you just come up here, set it down, up here, set it down. That's working the same muscles that you would see with a kettlebell swing. I'll do it side profile to show you, okay? All right, next set. Don't you suck, my streak is broken. That is BS. That's absolute booty. I can't restore that, I don't think. Sorry about that, Big Red. Yeah, you're at like 40 videos of mine, which is crazy. Speaking of, we're now over episode 400, so that's kind of cool. All right. 10. 20. 25. All right, so I'm going to do the kettlebell swings to the side this time. Tilt the camera up just a touch. When doing meal things, do you precisely measure things? Sometimes, but not very often. I'm not a huge fan of measuring everything. It just creates a whole lot of extra dishes. Like once you get used to knowing approximately what something is, that's how I do it. Or what I'll do, right, you see how I'm hinging with the hips? That's where the power's coming from. Upper body is mostly relaxed. But measuring, what I'll often do is I'll make a big pot of food and eat off of that for several meals and just calculate the entire pot of food calories wise and divide it by how much of the pot I think I've had. As long as it adds up to the total, doesn't really matter. All right, one more set. So hopefully that's helpful. Thank you very much for the follow, King Faye. Yeah, no problem. So, I've been looking too at the Pearl Harbor bike path. There is a bike path that goes around the good majority of Pearl Harbor, which may mean the move to go car-free is indeed an e-bike. That would be pretty sick if I go that way. Be really nice not to own a car. Whisper's not considering looking contract work and going living over in low cost of living areas like Vietnam or Thailand. So, right, you have to remember, Mikey, I'm a nuclear engineer, and much of the value I bring is that I'm trustworthy, right? I've gotten security clearances in the past. I'm going to continue to get them in the future because I'm a known quantity. This means there's a certain amount of monetary value associated with that. So there's an incentive for me to stick around. Not to mention, Vietnam is still a communist country. Yeah, it may only be a name, and yeah, they're a lot more friendly than they used to be, but can't quite do that. The other thing is that I still want to see what I can get out of my nuclear engineering career, and I'm very excited about the actual work I'm going to be doing out at Pearl. So yeah, the cost of living may be high, but again, I don't have to stay in Pearl forever if I decide I don't want to. I'm a nuclear engineer. That's true. Now, as a mechanical engineer, I could definitely take, right, so my degree is in mechanical engineering, but my current field of expertise is nuclear engineering. But I generally like the nuclear field, and I'm really excited about the upcoming opportunity that I have. So what I'm going to do now is bang out one more set of push-ups, one more set of kettlebell swings, then we'll get to boxing, all right? 5. Nice and easy. Come on, last set. Fourteen, 15 single hand, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and we're done. Nice. Well, we're done with the push-ups and swings anyway. Okay. So, now what? The answer is we're going to be doing some boxing. You gotta take a minute and rest for just a moment. I'm thinking about how best I should do this too. I'll set up the grill again. Go about it that way. Yeah. That's me. We'll set up the grill, wrap up. We'll do 5 sets at 2 minutes apiece. So I'll set the timer. There we go. Yeah. So I'm gonna. Laptop should have enough power to stream for 10 to 12 minutes without being connected to battery. If the stream quality gets bad, let me know and I'll just correct it. By the way, I overate again yesterday and I can tell. Look at this. This is disgusting. Ugh. Ugh. So I still have a lot of diet work to do. I gotta be a bit more serious about it. Thankfully, all the Easter festivities come to an end today, so we have it. And then the following days, I'm gonna be on the road. Hopefully I can minimize my calorie consumption and really just spend several days in deficit, get down deeper into the 220s, even into the 210s eventually. Long-term goal is to be about 210, 215. Night Out Ball, good to see you. Welcome on in. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that set up. So I'll just turn you guys this way while I do it. Actually, shoot. It's a little bit further away. I could set you guys like right about here. I wonder, how feasible would that be? If I were to just go like this. That's about as far as I think I could probably take you. That actually isn't terrible. What do y'all think? Would y'all rather be... So I was gonna put the grill right about like here and have you guys on it. What do y'all think? Would y'all rather be closer? Or is that good? I mean, I'm gonna move the grill either way, but I'd rather get y'all's opinion on that. This should be fine. All right, well, I'll leave you guys there then. Get that out of the way. It's okay. Cool. All right. I'm gonna leave you guys just right there while. See. Cool. All right. Bitchin'. What you be grilling on that? Really just anything I kind of fancy. Chicken, pork, sausages, burgers, vegetables. I'm a fan of grilling. Grilling's good. See if I'm gonna do this properly. What I need is my wraps. There they are. And my gloves. There. Those are, oh, these wraps got a while. I can just wash these. That's fine. I needed to wash them anyway. We'll do that. There's my glove. Alrighty. Throw the gloves there, throw the wraps there. These guys are absolutely filthy, so we're just gonna put them back over here because we're gonna have to wash them. After the broadcast, really, the rest of my day is gonna be starting to pack everything up in boxes. Do you have level 2 charging? I don't. It's just level 1. Let's see here. Where's the end? There's the end. Okay. Yeah, these are in crap condition. Oh well. Oh, the end's over here. Wrong end. So we go, wrap it up, cross the palm, cross the wrist, cross the palm again, cross the wrist again, cross the thumb, cross the wrist, cross the thumb, cross the wrist, cross one hand. Ooh, okay, these are smaller. I have to undo one of these. There we go. Cross the wrist, cross the other hand. That's about all the, this is gonna be a bit on the short side, but we'll make it work. It's all right. We're not going super intense, you know, we're not absolutely gonna wail on it at maximum power anyway. That should do just fine. Let's see here, where's the other wrap? There it is. Cross the palm, cross the wrist, cross the palm, cross the wrist, cross the thumb, cross the wrist, cross the finger, and untwist it. There we go, straighten that fucker out. Cross again. There we go. Okay. Not ideal, but it will get the job done. It's a pretty lazy wrap, but it works. All right. So what we're gonna do now, God, this lighting is terrible. Y'all can barely fucking see me. No, I don't like that. Y'all are gonna go on the grill. I'll just have to keep an eye on the battery, and if it gets low, I'll charge the laptop. That's gonna be the way to do this. This lighting is shit. Like, look at this. Y'all can barely see me. Like, you can see my silhouette. This is a little bit better over here, but no, this is just dumb. I'm gonna stop being such a lazy bastard and actually give y'all a good view. This is in the way. Lighting's only bad because I'm in front of the window. Well, yeah, but I can't move the bag, so. Yeah, this is gonna be the wiser thing to do. You gotta suck it up. Okay. Let's unplug, and y'all should have, if there are any issues with the stream while it's unplugged like this, just let me know. It shouldn't be a huge issue, especially if we're only going for 10 minutes, but. Yeah, that's a ton better. Look at this. Yeah, no. I just need to quit being fucking lazy and actually put y'all where you belong, give you a good view, and stop being stupid. That's much better. Yeah, look at that. I mean, come on. That's a ton better. That's how we're gonna do it. Okay. So you're right there. Grab myself some music because we're gonna need it. And we'll get rocking and rolling. Tie up my shoes. Yeah, no, I was just being lazy. I should have done this earlier, but whatever. Yeah. All right. I'm glad I decided to not be lazy. Tie my shoes a little bit. They're too loose. Now, I don't have level 2 charging though. I don't need it here. It's a plug-in hybrid, so. Turn on the Bluetooth. Okay, let's see here. Come on, Bluetooth. Earth to Bluetooth headphones. Come on. Thank you. Turn on. For crying out loud. There we go. Killer. Now we're talking. All right. Start it. Here we go. All right. That's round one done. I need the water. Angle should be good. Lighting should be good. Seems like it's good. Boxing is great cardio for those who don't want to run the mill. Facts, cabbages, walk them on in. That's round one. We got 2 more rounds at 2 minutes, 5 more rounds at 2 minutes apiece. Sorry. We're doing 5 rounds. We've got 4 more left. That was just round 1. This rap is garbage. Like, it's slipping off. I should have just rewrapped it, but let's not worry about that now. All right, round 2. So what's the inspiration for keeping the mohawk? I just like it mostly. Ain't too complicated. Fucking hell. Hey, King Use 1972. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome on in. Get another song going. It'll work. All right. Here we go. Round 3. This one, keep the bumps in. round's done. This Holder Heck 2.0? Hell nah, bro. Fucking Britney Spears, really, dude? I hate you sometimes, Mikey. God damn it. I always like to throw the Rocky theme on for my final set or two. I guess we're listening to Britney Spears today. Up yours, Mikey. Up yours. You suck sometimes, Mikey. No, it's not. It's got it. Look, right? Fucking Britney Spears. No, look. It's fine. You want to fucking bullshit me? This is a boxing workout, man. This is where you need your Eminem. This is where you need your fucking Bill Conti Gonna Fly Now. This is where you need your fucking Megadeth. This is not where you need goddamn Britney Spears. There you go. Work, bitch. This is... Oh. I hate you sometimes, Mikey. Mikey, this is fucking awful. God damn, I have another minute of this. Jesus Christ, this is miserable. Nikki at 6'9". By the way, Acro, someone give Acro a shout out. I saw him pop in here. Go check out his channel, y'all. Shit's awesome. Mikey, you're torturing me right now. You go give him a shout out. You're an admin, you can do that. Thank God this is almost over, okay. I'm not taking song requests for the last one. There's only one song that works for the final set. All right, appreciate it. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Yeah, I haven't seen you on recently. I was wondering about that. Well, I hope all's going well with you, brah. Come Tuesday morning at dark 30, I'm leaving South Carolina for good. I'm heading west. Hawaii's the long-term goal. May night, I'm gonna fly out to Hawaii. Hey, Marks a Miss, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome on in. Oh my god, this is actually causing brain damage. Please make it stop. Oh, thank god this is over. Okay, yeah, I'm playing Gonna Fly Now by Bill Conti. That was fucking horrendous, Mikey. Look, man, there is nothing wrong with picking a trolley song, but admit it. Don't sit here and tell me that's good for me. No, Neon, you know what? You're not hearing that right now. I'm listening to Gonna Fly Now. Fuck all y'all. This is what we're doing for the last set. Oreo fucking Casters commercial. Man, all this extra fucking belly fat, that's the last thing I need is goddamn Oreos. There we go. Yeah, it's old fashioned. You know what? Sometimes that's the best. I don't even need a clock on this one. I'm just going until I can't fucking go anymore. There we go. Da, 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 da. Fucking hell, it's coming out. Ah, yeah. You keep it in there. Fucking hell. Much better. That wasn't bad, that was close to 3 minutes. No, I'll play this song now. I wasn't fucking doing it for my last set. I'll play this song now, but no. Last set on a boxing workout is like a burnout set or a max set on the weights. I get to pick the song because I'm trying to do an all-time best. I don't think I've gone for that long in a hot minute. I'm very glad I did. But we're done now. I'll listen to the song now. Now, I wasn't dealing with 2 stinkers in a row. I don't even know if Neon's is a stinker or not, but I do know that after Britney Spears, I needed a palate cleanser. And nothing beats Gonna Fly Now by Bill Conti for a boxing song. Literally fight me. Look, man, the song Gonna Fly Now, right? You know, it's da-da-da, da-da-da. That song was so good that even Arnold, who was sort of Sylvester Stallone's big movie rival in the 80s, said people hit the gym differently when that song comes on. When we're in Hawaii, are you going to bring out a brisket Sammy from Buc-ee's? Hell no. I got better options. As a matter of fact, one of my good friends in Greenville, in Texas, the guy I'm selling my car to is a competition grade brisket maker. Makes the best brisket in all the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area, including the hinterland counties. Ain't nothing beat this man's brisket. And I'm not saying Buc-ee's brisket's bad, but look, there's levels to it, okay? There's brisket, and then there's the elevated, godly food stuff, which this friend of mine makes. As Brittany once said, you want a hot body, you want, God damn it. Yes. Okay, fine. All right, okay. Let's see, what was that song? Oh, piss off, I'm gonna do it. Jesus, give me, just fucking absolutely slaughtering my cardio over there. Give me a sec. Duve Bomb, okay? We'll play Bomb. Here we go. Bomb by Duve. Hey, so impatient chat is today. There you go. All right, let's listen to this. If it's good enough, I'll bang out some push-ups. Mate, really? All right, okay. All right, there's some flow. Okay, he's dating himself there, talking about devils like PK Subban, but... All right. It's got a decent enough level where I can bang out some push-ups. That's 25. Worked on the music video for this production. I gotcha. This dude's flowing pretty well. Throwing some pretty decent bars down. Hey, Phallopathic, thank you very much for the follow. We got a bunch of new follows. Y'all, we are so close to 2,000, so I do appreciate every new follow that's coming in. All right. This dude is incredibly New York. Holy, where's the point? Okay. I mean, yo, we're kind of done the workout. We're kind of into the Q&A section. Can we save that one? Because like, I'm done. Like, I'm not gonna be. It's hard to like carry on a conversation when I'm trying to listen to music too. So, yeah, Mike, you mind just refunding Big Red? No, we're not gonna do that right now. I'd love to actually have like a conversation because this is. I got some important stuff to say. All right, that's a decent song. Yeah, refund it, please. Every new follower's a day closer to getting partnership. I'm never gonna get partnership. They don't like fitness and Twitch streamers. The Twitch doesn't like fitness and health streamers. Ask Acro or any other person who's tried to get partnership on this platform about that guy. I look fucking terrible today. I'm looking at this. It's just, ugh. I really need to start eating a little bit better. I overate yesterday, quite badly. And while I did, okay, so I ended up eating like something like 4,600 calories yesterday, which is not good, obviously, and probably a solid 500 or 600 of that was just bullshit, but I just overate in quantity. The good news is yesterday, so I hit a fairly decent workout, right? You know, it was probably an hour and a half, so probably 400 or 500 calories from that. And I went for a bike ride for almost an hour, so that was probably another 400 or 500 calories. So you were probably looking at I burned close to 4,000, if not a little more calories yesterday, especially when you factor in the elevated thermic effect of food because I ate so much, but still I probably ran a surplus. You know, the time we get situated in Hawaii, for sure, for sure. That's the thing. Okay. They partnered Spochi and he does fitness. Okay, one exception does not break the rule. I know for every streamer I've seen get partner, another I've seen have all the requirements for multiple months on end and still get denied. Twitch doesn't like health and fitness streamers. They just don't. I can promise you that. So let's talk a little bit, okay? This is why I didn't want to continue listening to music. The workout's pretty much over. This is it, y'all. This is going to be the last Twitch stream on my channel for until further notice. And the reason for this is that I'm moving across the continent and then across the ocean. So for those of you who don't know, I am moving starting April 2nd, okay? We are going from South Carolina to Hawaii, all right? I am going to be leaving my house in South Carolina April 2nd and arriving in Hawaii on the island of Oahu on May 9th, okay? So this is gonna be a 5-week trip and it's gonna be a lot of fun, but there's a lot of stuff I have to get done. So the first 2 weeks are pretty much set in stone at this point. Here's, I don't think that's true. Have you considered, I'm not gonna, dude, I'm a random health and fitness streamer with 1,900 followers. Dan Clancy has better things to do than to talk to my ass. You spoke to Yo, what's the smallest Fortnite streamer I watch? Dude, no. Okay, even if he did have the time to talk to me, right now I'm not going to have the time to put in enough streams to be qualifying for partnership. And I'm trying to explain why right here. So what we got is April 3rd, we're gonna be in Houston. I'm gonna be doing a collab stream with Plus Ultra Eddie. Highly recommend giving him a follow. I can give him a shout out too. We're gonna do that. We're gonna shout out. Damn it. Shout out Plus Ultra Eddie. He is another health and fitness streamer on this platform. We are going to do a workout on his home turf. He's invited me to his gym. It should be a really great time. We're gonna go and that'll be, I think, early afternoon, April 3rd. Okay, so that's April 3rd. April 4th and April 5th, I'm gonna be in my hometown of Bryan, College Station, seeing friends, so probably won't see much of me there. April 6th, 7th, and 8th, I'm gonna be in the outskirts of DFW, hanging out with friends as well. Probably gonna see the eclipse there. That should be a lot of fun. The rest, all the way until the 13th, I'm gonna be hanging out with my bro on in and around DFW. Will I be IRL streaming these? Probably not on Twitch because I don't think my internet connection will often be stable or reliable enough to do that and put out the quality I expect for my own channel. So for that reason, I would say don't count on it. This is why the Discord is important. I can put out a stream on lower bandwidth, put out a stream on less internet connection onto Discord as opposed to Twitch. So I'm probably going to spend a little bit more time on the Discord community over the coming months because it just makes more sense. So if you're not on my Discord server and you're wondering, huh, where'd BullMuscle go? There you go. I didn't go anywhere, but there you go. On what date are you going to be in Pennsylvania, New York City? Because I'll meet up. Mate, have you been listening to a thing I've said? No, I'm going from South Carolina to Hawaii. In what way would I want to be going northeast? No, I'm not going to Pennsylvania or New York City anytime soon. So April 14th, my old plan was to continue taking my car across into New Mexico, Arizona, and California, and then heading north to Washington State. I've got family in Washington State, so I'm going to stay there for probably at least the first few days of May. The trouble now is that one of my friends in Texas wants to buy my Volt. So I'm probably going to sell it to him because he's going to take good care of it, and he made me a good offer, and it's convenient. You know, it's easy, can get it done, don't have to worry about it. Then the question becomes, how do I get from Texas to Washington? And right now I'm looking at renting like a one-way rental, which is expensive. But I'm also looking at, a one-way, buying a car in Texas and driving it up to Washington and flipping it. I think, again, a Subaru might be the move there, or a Prius, or something else that's kind of a crunchy car, because that's what's going to be in demand in a place like Washington State. Not trying to use an adjective. I think you take a detour, take Amtrak to New York to Los Angeles, no direct route, you go west, north to Albany and Chicago. Mate, think through what you're asking me here. I'm already driving 3,000 miles from the southeast to the northwest. I've got loads of friends in Texas, so that's not compromising. Why would I drive almost 1,000 miles due northeast, like the opposite way of which I should be going? No, I'm not doing that. No, don't be silly. That's ridiculous. Look, I'd love to see my friends in the Northeast, but that's just not in the cards right now. I have really, there's a lot I've got planned, right? So my original plan was going to be April 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, going to see my friends in Los Angeles, Central California, and then, head up the coast to see Yosemite, Inyo, Stanislaus, Shasta. Actually, it's not up the coast, but head up north through the state, Crater Lake, see Oregon, and then, spend a couple weeks in Washington, spend it with my fam, because once I get out to, the island, I'm going to be alone on an island. So, I want to take advantage of that, but there is no possible way I'm going northeast here. The closest I went was DC a few weeks ago. I talked about that in stream. Going to pay for your gas and maintenance for the extra 1,000 miles. It's not. You're missing the key factor. It's that I don't have the time to do that. It's already pretty well packed. I've already set up the schedule with all my friends in Texas. But as far as the drive west is concerned, so yeah, it's going to be, first few weeks are going to be in Texas, first few weeks in April. Beyond that, it's going to be a bit more of a question mark. Hey, Joji, happy Easter. Yes, hallelujah, he is risen. But as far as going further, so April 14th, my plan was, what if I told you I could freeze time? I would ask you, please be slightly more serious than that. If time could be frozen, dude, really? You're fucking wild sometimes, man. Kareem, good to see you. Can finally eat meat again. Yes, I'm gonna have a big ham today, so I'm gonna be living off of Easter ham for the next 2 days, because really it's today and then tomorrow. Again, the second I'm leaving South Carolina at like 3:30 in the morning because Atlanta traffic is horrendous, and if I can get through Atlanta by 6, I'll miss the worst of it. You're just meaning. I gotcha. Okay. All right. Cool. Um, time travel would be cool though. Yeah. Unfortunately, reality doesn't work like that. Time comes for us all. There's an old saying. Not just that youth is wasted on the young, but young people have uh, time and energy, but no money. People in prime of their life have money and energy, but no time. And people at the ends of their lives have money and time, but no energy. The way to short circuit that is financial independence and early retirement, which is what I have chosen to do. By the way, I've hit my FI number, for those of you who didn't know, so I can now stop working if I wanted to and just exist and live. I don't want to yet, though, because this new job is really interesting and I want to see how it is. But April 14th and onwards, looking to move west. I'm thinking my plan is, at the moment, I'm going to probably find another vehicle to take west and then north with me to California and then up to Washington. Been looking at vans. Now I'm thinking again, something maybe like a Prius V or a Subaru might be the move because I can probably get pretty good, buku bucks if I flip it. And that would, pay for a good chunk of my trip, which would be pretty neat if I could pull that off. That'd be a pretty good little piece of financial wizardry to basically get, to use geographic arbitrage to my advantage, flip a car and use the profits to pay for all the journeys in between. That would be pretty neat. Never stop working, Phillies. I'm going to die as a mini Jay Leno. I'll be working until I'm 99, still creating new businesses every day. Hey, different strokes, right? So now, there's a difference between that and where I'm at, which is, okay, I'm 28. Hey, we got a new follow. Thank you very much, Ducky Daring. Welcome on in, Mr. Ducky Daring, or Mrs. Ducky Daring. Where was I going? D is 500. I think you're talking about the stream numbers there. CDII is where we're at. That's 402. So we just hit our 400th stream a couple days ago. So, yeah, it's been a long, strange trip, so to speak. We're over 400 episodes, 400 different streams. So that's a pretty cool feeling. As far as where I'm at, I think I'm going to enjoy this job. My guess is that I'm going to enjoy this job for a couple years. Oh, wow, we're at 1997? Well, that's awesome. Here's hoping we get 2009. So, what was I saying? I think I'm going to enjoy this job out there. So, I can also talk a little bit more about what I've been doing now. I think I'm a little bit more comfortable with saying it since Monday, literally tomorrow, is my last day on the job. And realistically, I'm not getting a whole lot of actual work done. It's going to be mostly out processing, exit interviews, stuff like that. You're too smart for fitness dream. I don't think that's true. I think it takes quite a bit of intelligence to figure out how to optimize one's fitness, will optimize one's health. And as you can see, I clearly still have a ways to go. But we'll work on that. And you guys, obviously the Discord's going to help keep y'all in a loop, but it feels pretty good. As far as the job in Hawaii is concerned, so it's going to be nuclear engineering with the Navy. I think I'm going to really enjoy the job. There's benefits to sticking around for a while. You get access to a pension. You get access to all the amenities, including the base gym, which is huge for me. Right now, I've been looking at where to live out there. That's sort of been something I've been trying to figure out. So I've looked on, it would be really cool to be on the windward side, but that would require at least the 20 to 25 minute drive commute, assuming traffic is good, from the windward side to the leeward side every single day. And I'm talking places like Kailua or Kaneohe, which is near the Marine base. As much as I would love that, I'm not sure that's the wisest move on year one out there. I'm a big fan of being close to work, but what I found is there is a bike path that kind of rolls right around Pearl Harbor. I think the move is going to be grab an e-bike, I'll have to pay a couple grand for it, but okay, whatever. That's not a huge cost, especially if it means I can avoid having a car for at least a few months. And ride an e-bike on the bike path all the way down to all the way down to Pearl Harbor. Kind of watched a VOD discuss a world history event I know nothing of that about. Well, I mean, hey, appreciate it. Always, you know, it's not often people go back and watch the VODs, but hey, you know, if you've got questions, I can certainly answer them. That's sort of what we're doing here. This is sort of our chill little Q&A session. And really, it's the last one y'all are going to have with me for quite some time. I don't know when my next stream will be. I will probably try to get one somewhere in the second week of April. I can't promise that, though. It's really going to be dependent on what my internet connection is, what my schedule is. I'm going to be very busy. I'm going to be seeing lots of old friends I haven't seen in years, and they got to take priority because I don't have a lot of time with them. You know, just with the sheer quantity of friends I'm meeting up. So that's sort of the plan on that front. What else? Oh, as far as where I'm looking to move to, I'm definitely, the more I've been thinking about it, the more I'm probably going to go with sticking closer to work and, you know, trying to go car light or car free at least for the first few months. If I feel like, let's see, Harbor Ridge, let's see, oh, okay, so I can't pull that up on my laptop while I'm streaming, but I can see if I can pull it up on my phone. See what we got here. See if that fits you really well. Let's find out. Copy text. There we go. We'll see. Let's see what this ridge, this Harbor Ridge or whatnot looks like. Cut. Let's see and paste. Let's see what we get here. Oh, god damn it. I shouldn't be saying that on Easter. My apologies, y'all. Copy text. Let's try that again. Paste. When you say work, it's like furthest from fitness. Well, so because I'm going to be on a base, what that means is I should be able to use the base gym. That would be sort of the goal there. So when I'm at work, right, you know, I'm still going to have to go, but I can, you know, work and then work out on the base and then go back to my place. Let's see, where is this? It's up in a big tower, but yeah, that's not bad. That's in the Salt Lakes area. I'm definitely looking around there. It's in Honolulu, so it's okay. So it's in Honolulu by name, but if you actually look on a map, it's closer to the Salt Lakes area, which is where I'm kind of. That's the furthest east I want to look. Not really looking to live all the way in the town, like actually in downtown Honolulu, because that would require a fairly long commute with a bunch of buses. So yes, Salt Lakes, you know, areas near the airport, definitely places I'm looking at. Then, you know, north around the harbor, Aiea, Halava, Waimalu, Pearl City, places like that. Really, again, the goal is just kind of, it's to be close to where I'm working, at least at first. I just think that's the most common sense way to do it, because I'm thinking about, right, even if I get to telework a day or two, realistically, I'm going to be going onto the base at least 3 times a week, probably more like 4 or 5, realistically, because there will be times where I'll have to go, even if I'm not there or working. So then the question becomes, okay, is there anywhere else I am going that would require me to, you know, live closer to it? And the answer is no. I don't think there's anywhere closer, like I don't think there's anywhere I'm going to be traveling the most. And this is something I talk about a lot. Let me move the microphone over here so that way you get a little bit better audio quality. That should help the audio quality quite a bit. I just realized I had replaced my microphone and forgot to put it back. But Just military bases causes Disney World the best amenities, gyms, bars, yada yada yada. Versus sites for living guinea pigs, a suburban experiment. Yeah, but in a practical sense, right? I'm a huge fan of live very close to where you work because that's where you are going to have to go the most often, right? The three things you got to try and live the closest to are your source of employment, your source of food, right? Because you're probably going to go to a grocery store fairly regularly. And for me, the gym, right? It's not going to be realistic for me to build a home gym, at least not at first out there. Lucky 7, yeah, thank you very much for the watch rate, Dodge. Appreciate it very much. Yeah, we needed 12 innings last night. They did beat Auburn. Some good baseball right there. College baseball season is in full swing. I was going to try and catch a game at A&M, but ironically enough, while I'm in College Station, they will be in South Carolina playing the Gamecocks in Columbia, which, c'est la vie. But I'm glad. I feel like, honestly, part of me is feeling like I should have left a couple days ago, but I'm ready. I'm itching to get out, kind of begin my next chapter. And it's been a really good one, y'all. Guess that's really it for the show. And this is going to be the last time on Twitch that y'all see me in this setup. There's not going to be... I don't know what the future holds for the stream channel. I'm not going to abandon my Twitch channel. I just want to make that very clear. I'm going to try and stream as much as I can and how I can. But what the content will be, haven't been able to figure that out yet. Am I going to try to make it fitness related? Yeah, probably, because that's my bread and butter. That's what y'all know and like me for. Is it going to maybe be some more gaming streams, at least in the first times? Yeah, because that may be the only thing I can do. But I'm going to do my best to continue providing the content that y'all seem to really like. Excuse me. I just got a ping from my... Okay, yeah. See, to be on Twitch is essentially how can chat support my stream. If it didn't meet the stream, would be to keep grinding. See Michael B. Jordan's house, his commercial gym. Nightmask, do you think streaming on Twitch makes you more accountable to your set goals and targets to later look back and reflect if you reached it or not? This is a really good question, and this is one I've thought about sometimes. So I think I lean towards the answer being no. And the reason for this is that I will just as happily go and lift on my site, on the site gym, on Mondays and Tuesdays, as opposed to, only lifting while I'm live. And there are benefits to not being live while lifting. I don't have to worry about presenting a good show. I don't have to constantly, continue the conversation, which means I can focus more on my breathing, focus more on recovering between sets, and usually I get my workouts done a little bit quicker. I've not seen Michael B. Jordan's house. No, I don't really pay much attention to celebrities. I know Michael B. He's a really good looking dude. He's really athletic. Like, he's done a shit ton of really good films, but no, I'm not interested in what his house is. But do I think streaming on Twitch is making me accountable to my set goals? In general, I would say no. I mean, do I like looking good for y'all? Looking like I'm strong and built and all that jazz, right? Yeah, I guess. But at the same time, I do that for myself. That's something I would encourage all y'all to realize. If any of y'all are looking to start or continue a fitness journey, the reasons matter. The truth is, I personally believe that you have to do it for yourself. If you are trying to get in shape for someone else's approval or for love or for whatever other reason other than self-improvement, you will eventually burn out. Just thought as a fitness influencer you'd be interested in his home gym. Looks like a commercial gym. I'm sure it does. I'm sure Arnold's home gym looks like that. I'm sure Arnold has one. But there's nothing practical I can take away with that. I've seen plenty of other really good home gyms on other streamers' platforms here. Saving up $20K to one up him. Yeah, good for you, man. Good for you. Go for it. $20,000 is a lot of money to spend on a gym, but there are certainly worse things you could spend it on. At least you're not spending it on NFTs or something stupid like that. yeah, that's more power to you, bro. More power to you. But I would say night mass, this is a really good question. I would say in general, I would lean towards no as my, that being my answer. I definitely, there are some days where I don't want to stream, and lifting gives me a reason to do it. I feel like if I were doing gaming streams, I'd probably be less consistent because I don't think I enjoy gaming as much. Like, I can play video games for a little while, you know, an hour here, an hour there, but generally speaking, I get bored of it and I want to go do something else. I just don't. I used to be able to game way more. Like when I was a teenager, video games were way more fun to me, and it's the same video games, but I just nowadays it's like, you know, it's a fun thing to do for a little while to kill a little bit of time, but I'd much rather be out walking. Um, that's just, yeah, that's just who I am. I would say that's a really good question. This is one of the more thoughtful questions I've had in a long time. What's wrong with NFTs? I didn't know you were anti-NFT. You know, strike me as a far left radical. I thought you'd have loved crypto. Crypto. Whoa, hold up. Okay, I'm bullish in general on crypto's potential use for the future, but at present, I think NFTs are pretty silly. It I question the value of you know, a JPEG of a monkey being $20,000. Does streaming and interacting with chat help you realize certain things that you never really thought deeply about? Sometimes the question train goes deep in many topics sometimes. Yes, I will absolutely say that. That's a really good question, Night Mask. So this is a really good one. With okay, so with the chat sometimes you do end up going down rabbit holes and conversations where you learn a lot, and that's probably one of the most enjoyable things about Twitch. I get to stream and I get to teach a lot. That's a lot of what I do. People ask me questions about, hey, you know, what do you recommend for losing weight, or what do you recommend for working on this or that muscle? But a lot of times, you know, I will get new information from chat, and I will get some cool new things to try, or some techniques that I haven't heard of before. But that's a really, really good. That's a really, really good question. But I would say, yes, I would say in general, the conversations that I have on my channel tend to be pretty good. You know, sometimes you get the person in here who has no social filter and, you know, just tells me to take my clothes off, which is like, okay, buddy, if you want that, there are different websites. Don't go to Twitch and ask that. But that's not the majority of what happens. You know, usually I think my audience is pretty positive, pretty thoughtful, and pretty insightful, and I'm very grateful for that. Let's see, Monkey. Did you never meet a girl in school who worried you'd bite them? Huh? That's one of those straight. That's a very weird question. Why would I bite someone in school? As for NFTs, like, I also think the value of most pieces of art is pretty ridiculous. The Mona Lisa, great, it belongs in the Louvre, sure, if people say it does. But art to me is entirely about taste. It's subjective. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and you can't. I don't think the term objective beauty exists. Not in any serious sense. There are things that most people think are beautiful, and because they define it, then it has value. But in terms of using that as a medium, as like an investment tool, I think that's silly. I would never own fine art as an investment medium. In the same way, I would never own NFTs as an investment medium. You'd be much better off, you know, buying stock in an art broker or buying stock in a crypto broker if you wanted exposure to that space, because they actually provide value in the form of a service, right? Speaking of that, why are there any Twitch dudes who are capitalizing off simps on here? And right, the females dominating the platform. There's some very attractive men in health and fitness who could be doing the same. I'm sure there are some, but right, that's okay. Why do I stream? This is a great question to sort of address as this is the last long-term stream on here. But why do I stream? I stream because I like helping people. The most rewarding part about having done all these 400 odd episodes with y'all, most of them in this garage with this equipment, doing the same thing week in and week out, the most rewarding part of it has been when you get someone in a chat that says, hey, Bull, you taught me this a few weeks back and I was able to incorporate it and improve like this. And now I've come back and I'm stronger, or I've lost some weight. Thanks for the tip. When I get that, it gives me the feeling that I've made a difference. And that is the most rewarding thing as a streamer. If I wanted to monetize this stream, a lot more than I do, I could run more ads, or I could, I'm sure I could find plenty of ways to monetize this. But I make enough money. I don't feel the need to do that. I'm already financially independent. So, it's just not worth it's not worth the effort. And I feel like it would dilute the quality of the show. The whole point of this show to me is that, I'm just a regular guy, right? Do I have some more muscles than most people? Yeah, sure. But have I done anything all that extraordinary in getting them? No. I'm just a normal guy who decided, okay, I like lifting weights, makes me feel good. I like eating well. What if I put all this together and showed people how I've done this? And I've been pretty successful. In the same way, I tell people, hey, I save 60, 70, 80% of my income, and now I'm financially independent and could retire at the age of 28. That's not a normal thing most people do, but I've gone and done it. And it kind of just goes to show, hey, you can challenge what most people think is impossible, even if you're just a regular normal guy. So I probably should have clarified. I buy NFTs because I like the art. Don't buy NFTs intending to ever sell. Fair enough. All right. Through your current stage in life, is streaming on Twitch based on the deep questions lately have been the most significant expression of thought lately? You're making me think. Night Masks, by the way, some serious banger questions. That's a great question. I need to think about that for a moment. I would say no. I can have some very deep conversations on here, but I also have that on my Discord, which again, strongly recommend you join because you're not going to be seeing me on here nearly as regularly. The little schedule that y'all see below on my channel page is going to get updated because I don't know what the normal schedule is going to be. But I can find significant expressions of thought or really deep thoughts everywhere. For instance, not yesterday, but the day before, I went down to my thinking hole by the Savannah River, and I just sat and watched the river roll by. I prayed for a little while, and I had some deep thoughts. And I thought about those thoughts. And being able to think about your own thoughts is a skill that you want to try and learn. I would not say it's been the most significant, but I would say it has been significant. So there's the answer to your question. Good question there. I personally work with brands and do sponsorships that fit well with my audience ever running ads. Maybe work with Young LA or Gymshark or something like that. I would like a discount code for cheaper clothes. See, I buy most of my clothes secondhand, or they've been gifted to me, and I've just never replaced them over the last 10 years. My clothes budget is virtually nil every single year because right now, especially here in the West, we have such a surplus of excess clothes that basically any clothes you buy are functionally worthless. Very few items, apart from select, climate items, like if you, a really nice winter parka, for instance, that may have some value on the secondhand market. But the point here I'm trying to make is that clothes have very little value. So I wouldn't go out of my way to buy them. So I'm probably not a very good customer. Now, there are a few products I use. Things like protein powder, right? You know, if Costco wants to fucking sponsor me, you know, for protein powder, by all means. Because, I mean, y'all see me using that almost every single broadcast. Same with PB Fit. You know, I could do something like that. Could do a cross brand with. That's really about it, honestly. I'm trying to think. I guess Iron Bull for my weight belt, but like I don't buy a lot of stuff, which means a lot of people who make stuff look at this guy and he's like, oh, this guy's promoting spending less money. Nah, fuck that. Let's not give him a sponsorship. I'm really surprised by the cost of living on the island. It's not as bad as I thought. What other hidden costs there might be? Okay, so here's the thing with the cost of living in Hawaii. I've said it once and I'll say it again. If you try to live like a mainlander, the costs of living are eye-wateringly expensive. In other words, if you buy a big single-family home or a 3-bedroom home, and you buy a big truck or SUV and you insist on using that as the way to get around, yes, it's hideously expensive. If you buy beef and dairy like you would on the mainland, then yes, it's hideously expensive. But if you buy fish and you buy fresh produce and you buy rice and you buy vegetables, which is what you can grow in Hawaii and nearby areas, it's a lot more affordable. So is Hawaii a low cost of living area? Absolutely not. Under no circumstances am I saying that it is. But go look at the locals, right? The actual Hawaiians who have lived in Hawaii and maybe don't have as much money, but have lived there for decades and decades and decades with no problems, and say, huh, you know, they might be doing something wiser than a lot of us fucking haoles who show up on the island and insist, living on it like it's the American Midwest. Rents don't look that bad when you compare them to places like San Diego, Los Angeles, New York City, San Francisco. So if you go to downtown Honolulu, yes, they are that bad. But, or if you're going for a single family home. But if you're looking for a reasonable sized apartment, you can find decent ones. I found decent ones anywhere between $1,200 and $2,200 a month. They're putting in H Mart and SLC. Oh, I cannot wait for good Asian food. I'll be honest. I've missed that a lot. Yeah, so I'm going to be eating lots of Asian food out there for sure. Nightmask says, as you get older, what's one social thing you value more than before, especially in the case if you were to retire early and not having to go through a routine of work and showing up each day? This isn't a social thing, but I have to add it. Getting 8 hours of sleep every night. Duh. Because if you get good sleep, you're sharper in the daytime, you make better decisions, you eat better, and it starts a positive cycle. Other things, social things I'm going to be very excited about, that I'm FI. Really, if I were to, okay, so the biggest reason I'm FI, the reason I went for financial independence / retire early, right? FIRE. God, that's so much. That makes me sad. I need to diet better. Panda Express is garbage, dude. Also, no, I'd have to travel all the way over to Georgia to find the nearest one. But if I were to retire early, I think the nicest thing would be to be able to do a lot more charitable or social work. Going in, maybe taking, doing more volunteering, doing more, more altruistic acts of goodness, right? A lot of times, I'm not going to have the ability to do that because I'll be at work. But the main thing I've been trying to do is, the FIRE, right? It stands for Financial Independence / Retire Early. And while being able to retire early is nice, that's never what really spoke to me about it. It was about the FI part. FI means I have the ability to tell my employer at any time, fuck you, I'm out. That is so empowering. It means your management can't screw with you. They can't tell you to work Saturdays if you don't want to. They can't tell you to take on 3 people's worth of work and continue to only work 40 hours. Management, they have to treat you with respect or you will leave. Now, of course, um, management. If management doesn't value the work you put in, if you're an absolute slacker and you don't, do your job well, then management's probably hoping you leave. So the ability of having that position of FU, that's entirely predicated on being good at your job. So you have to work hard. But once you work hard and then you tell your management, hey, I can leave anytime I want, management has to work to keep you happy as opposed to you having to work to keep management happy. And that is the position of power that everyone should strive for. No, Panda Express is not very good. It's a lot of preservatives. The vegetables aren't particularly fresh. The meat is mostly breading. A lot of what they serve is deep fried, which is fine, but it's not particularly healthy, and I kind of feel like crap. I used to eat Panda a lot, in college because there happened to be a Panda Express in the Student Union building. We call it the MSC, the Memorial Student Center. So it was very convenient, but I wouldn't ever say it was good. This is why I work at Chipotle. You don't have to work weekends if you don't want to. Chipotle literally advertises scheduling flexibility via GM in 2 years. Hold up. So you're telling me you work at Chipotle and you're planning on spending $20,000 on a home gym? Man, some of the stuff you say sometimes is fucking wild. I think that's more or less it. Do we have any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to probably look to raid. We got so close to 2,000 followers, which kind of stinks. I was hoping we would get there, but I suppose not. You say you work at Chipotle, and you're looking to spend $20,000 a year. I mean, maybe you're a lot higher up on the Chipotle management chain than I'm thinking, and if that's the case, hey, more power to you. Good job. But most people who work at Chipotle are, restaurant workers. Well, there's nothing wrong with it, but you're not going to be, if you are making, $15, $16 an hour at Chipotle, well, you're not going to be able to drop 20 grand on a home gym. That math doesn't work. But if you're, if you're like an executive with Chipotle, then yeah, you could do that. But most people who work for Chipotle tend to be, actual restaurant food service workers. You can if you have savings and investment. All right. I'm having trouble taking that seriously at this point, but that's fine. If you're making $16 an hour at Chipotle, right? Say you're a first level manager, you're a line worker. It means you're making between $30,000 and $35,000 a year. What's your goal in terms of finances? What are the numbers to save? Okay, this is a really good question. So let's talk about this. You're a service manager. Okay, so you're making more than that. Okay, now if you're making more than that, it's a different story. But most people who work at Chipotle are going to be the actual food service staff, and they are usually hourly wages. They're making fairly low hourly wages. But let's talk about this. What is my goal in terms of finances? So financial independence is basically when your passive income is greater than your expenses. So for me, my expenses at current are about $17,000 a year. Okay? So for me, because of this, I would need to figure out, okay, what amount of invested money would allow me to reliably get $17,000 in passive income. So if I want my passive income to be higher than $17,000, I have to have I have to be able to withdraw that every year without my money ever running out. So, okay. So if we're going at $17,000 a year, we got to have a safe withdrawal rate. So what percentage of my income can I withdraw, or of my net worth, of my invested assets, can I withdraw every year to provide myself with passive income without eating into the principal? There have been a lot of studies that have determined this, but on average, most retirement planners suggest what's called the 4% rule. In other words, 4% of your total invested income you can withdraw. In other words, if you're worth $1 million, right, 4% of that means you can collect $40,000 a year in passive income. Now for me, I think this is not quite conservative enough. 4% rule is all good and well for a 30 or 35-year retirement, but if I'm 28 years old, I have to plan a bit further than that. So for me, I go with 3.2%, okay? So at 3.2%, if I have $17,000 in expenses, and I'm taking roughly 3.2% out every year, right? What amount of money do I need to get $17,000 in passive income? Well, it turns out this is equivalent to roughly, and this isn't an exact number, but let's put a tilde on the left side, there we go. Roughly $500,000 net worth, a little bit more. So if you have 500 grand invested, and you wanted to take out 3.2% year after year after year, this would probably preserve most, if not all, of your principal, and maybe even let it grow a bit over time, and you would have a permanent fund of $17,000 a year to pay off all your expenses. I'm not saying this is exactly what my net worth is, but I have become financially independent, and those are my expenses, so you can put this as a bottom number, okay? That's basically where I'm at. Now, obviously, if I live in Hawaii, my expenses are going to be higher than 17 grand. I'm not stupid, right? They're going to be higher. It's an inevitability of living on an island in the middle of the Pacific with high housing costs. Will they be obscenely high, though? Probably not. Will they be so high that I'm going to have to live paycheck to paycheck on a nuclear engineer's salary in Hawaii? I doubt it. So I'm probably still going to continue to save money in my nuclear engineer job out there. Will it be, as high a percentage of my income as it has been in South Carolina? Almost certainly not. But I'll still probably be able to save 30, 40, 50% of my income, if not more. It'd be really cool if I could do that and really kind of prove that the high cost of living in Hawaii is a myth, or at least can be managed. What do you think your savings rate will be in Hawaii? Great question. I'm guessing at the moment, so my savings rate at present, as near as makes no difference, last year I saved 83% of my income. That's not really sustainable, to put it mildly. As near as makes a difference. It might have been 82%, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I think it was 82%, excuse me. So I don't think I'm going to be able to pull off an 82% savings rate in Hawaii, to be brutally honest. I have done some basic math on what I think my expenses will be out there. And I'm thinking it's going to be anywhere between 40% and 65%. And the difference between these two numbers, the difference between these two numbers here is going to be, do I own a car? Do I splurge on a 2-bedroom apartment, or do I stick with a smaller one, or like a 1-bedroom or a studio? What kind of vacations do I choose? Do I choose to use public transit? How do I choose to eat? Do I choose to eat, you know, a little bit more like a local, or do I choose to buy imported stuff a little bit more often? You know, dairy, produce, meat, things like that. 20, 30, 50 life, 20% on wants, 30% on needs, 50% on investments, goals, or savings. Dude, that's fantastic. That's pretty good. But max out my Roth IRA for the first time, 10K emergency fund. Dude, that's great. It's rolling really well for you then. Cheers, Liam. That's very good. Do you say you'd ever be materialistic if you were renting a flat in an upper class region in the future, or you say your financial goals would be and live moderately and never enter the credit card debt trap? Oh God, no. Absolutely not gonna ever. Okay, so credit cards are useful only insofar as that you can get rewards from them, but you've got to pay them off every single month, because otherwise you're going to pay 20 or 25% interest on that credit card debt, and that is like attaching a leech to your wallet, just draining money out. It's an additional and completely unhelpful expense. If I was ever going to, right, so if I keep saving money beyond, you know, beyond the current point of financial independence that I'm at, in a few years I'm going to be a millionaire, is what that means, pretty much by default. But instead of using all that extra money on myself, what if I took this same philosophy, kept my expenses low, and used the additional money, the additional proceeds from a higher safe withdrawal rate, and used that money towards an annual charity fund? Now you're thinking about that's where my head's at. Do you turn cards? I used to, but it's too much work for me, so I don't bother. My spending isn't really high enough to justify credit card churning. Credit card churning is brilliant if you actually have some high-level expenses to where you can stack bonuses, but I don't do that. I live in bumfuck nowhere. So I was told to spend on credit cards, hold the balance 3 to 5 days, and then pay it off. Yeah, you can pay it off immediately, like you can pay it off in 3 to 5 days, you can pay it off in a month. I've set up automatic payments because I can't be bothered to think about it any more often than that. It's easy. You have to pay credit cards off every month. Yes. Okay, so you have what's called a rotating balance. So the way it works is, let's say I use my credit card on basic expenses, food, gasoline, electricity, whatever, through the month of March. So that's going to post it a statement at the end of March, and then I have until April 31st to pay that off. That's how a rotating balance works. All right? So no, I don't typically go credit card. As far as being materialistic is concerned, one of the great things about constantly moving every couple of years is that it forces you to be very not materialistic, because you realize, what's the point in acquiring all this shit if I just have to get rid of it in a few years? It's a subtle blessing, but it's a very nice one. The other thing is that I tend to view purchases with a 10-year span. So if I'm buying, a big fancy car, I have to think about not just the expenses associated with that car, but the money I'm foregoing by taking that money out of investment. If I continue with a cheaper option, those savings can be invested, and that investment can compound over time, which makes you additional thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So you got to be very careful about that. My guess, and again, this is really an estimate. I know my pay will go up, actually, slightly in Hawaii versus South Carolina, but I am also going to get taxed higher. I believe South Carolina's income tax is 6% and Hawaii's is 8%. So I'll have to pay a little bit more in income tax. I'm not going to have to pay property taxes there because I'm not buying property in Hawaii, because the costs of doing that are, holy shit, expensive. So I'm not going to bother with that. You can treat credit cards like debit cards. If you do that, you're going to be just fine. But the longest you can hold a credit card debt without accruing any interest is 1 month, typically. Being around the rich, would you not feel egotistical to try and compete regardless of presentations, say to get a girl? Maybe your attention to raise funds for reputable charity choice during retirement time. Okay, so this is talking about the hedonic treadmill and social status. If I look like this, I don't need a whole lot of clothes to impress people, as it turns out. I'm also moving to a island in the middle of the Pacific where the culture is mostly, wear casual shirts and go to the beach all the time. I think I'm gonna do okay on that front. Black tie affairs don't really happen very often in Hawaii. As for raising money for charity, if the charity is run properly, they're not going to care with how I look, they're going to care with how I donate. But no, I don't need to stroke my ego with purchases. There's a really good quote from, J.L. Collins did a parody of it. He's another fire blogger. He did a parody of The Gambler, but I love the way he says it. Don't buy shit you don't really want to impress assholes you don't really like. There you go. Let me say it one more time. Don't buy shit you don't really want to impress assholes you don't really like. One more time. Don't buy shit you don't really want to impress assholes you don't really like. If people don't like you for who you are, that's their problem, not yours. Now, okay, there's a difference, right? If you want something from society, like doing basic hygiene, you should be doing that, right? But going out and spending money on stupid luxury items, no. There's a balance. If you become a billionaire, probably you'll start your own foundation like Obama and Bill and Melinda Gates. I'll never become a billionaire. I'm not. I would never let my fortunes accrue to that level, I don't think. Unless we get hyperinflation, I'm never going to be a billionaire. And here's how I know, okay? Let's say I continued working. Aren't most people buff in Hawaii? I don't know if they are or not. I do know Hawaii has a relatively low obesity rate, but I have a feeling there are probably a lot of people, right, again, if a lot of people like going to the beach, then yeah, more people are probably likely to take care of themselves. So more people are buff in Hawaii than probably in South Carolina, but not everyone. But right, if my net worth is, all right, I'll keep it kind of blunt. It's between $500,000 and $1 million right now. Right, let's say I kept working, and as a result, I was able to contribute another $50, $60, $70, $80,000 a year every year, and let my investments grow. If that happens, maybe I'm looking at 2 million-ish, on the absolute best possible stock market performance, 2 million in 7 years. So 2 million when I'm 35 years old. And then allow it to double, right? Let's assume things go back to average after that. That's doubling every 7 years. So 4 million at age 45, 8 million at age 55, 16 million at age 65, 32 million at age 75. You can see very quickly that even if I was spending all my time not using my money on any charities, I would never get to $1 billion before I died. You have to start with a certain base to get to $1 billion, or you have to have a wildly successful business, which I probably won't choose to run. Let's see. Abui3ABD, thank you very much for the first time chat. Welcome on into the bullpen. How are you doing? We're so close to 2,000 followers, so if you like the content, if you like what I do, really any of y'all, please hit that follow button. It'd be really cool to hit 2,000. Talking about Elon Musk, I don't really think too much about Elon. He's gonna do his thing. I don't think Elon Musk is the worst, most evil person in the world. I don't think he's, Jesus come back to life, which is kind of topical since today is Easter. He is risen, but Elon's trying to just do his thing. Compared to some of the older billionaires from the 20th century, he's a massive improvement. Is he the perfect person? No. Take nuance with people. Elon isn't bad. Elon isn't good. Elon is Elon. There. It's very reductive to say, oh, this person bad, or oh, this person good. It's low level thinking. People do things And those things can either be bad or good. All right. Do we have any final questions? Because otherwise, I think I'm going to probably wrap things up. Young CEOs like Jeff Bezos and Tim Cook. Elon's about the same age as Bezos, isn't he? Either way. See who else we got live right now. Elon's also a racist. Okay, I mean maybe. I think right. Like this is another one where I think people spend too much time on Twitter. Look at actions and not words. See, we got Fizzico, we got Cole Runnings, hot sauce. So we haven't rated Fizzico in a while. We might do that. Thank you for the insights. Feel like a professor with a degree to coherent speech. I appreciate that. I'm nothing out of the ordinary. I promise you I'm not. I'm just a normal dude. I've been raised well, and I like working hard. And as a result, I've been successful. It's very simple. I don't think I've done anything revolutionary. I don't think I've done anything all that innovative. But I will say, I think what I have done, a lot of other people can do. So if you want, stiff. But, you know, if you want to look like this or better, frankly, you know, if you want to have the financial freedom to do whatever it is you want, if you want to, you know, learn a thing or two, strongly recommend joining the Discord because that's where I'm going to be. I don't know exactly what the next chapter in my life holds, but I know it's going to be pretty good. As far as who we're going to raid, let's go ahead and raid. Looks like our friend Zika is having a pretty good time, and he raided me recently, so I think we're going to raid him. It should be good. Yeah. We're going to raid Zika. Raid PHY. I need to remember how to spell this correctly. PHSY. That's how I spelled it. I spelled it the wrong way last time. Go Commando. All right. We're going to raid Fizzico Commando. He's pretty cool, y'all. He does food prep. He does lots of fitness streams, too, and he's in pretty damn good shape, I will say. So I appreciate everybody who's come out. Thank you, all the new followers, all the subscribers. It's been a lot of fun. Please join the Discord because that's where I'm going to be. Tell all your friends. That way we get to 2,000. And next chapter's coming up, y'all. As always, make good decisions. Those good decisions form your actions. Those actions form your habits. Those habits form your values. Those values form your ethos. Be the guide star through the rough waters of life. Much love. And aloha. All right, YouTube, it's been fun. Take it easy. See ya whenever. Aloha.